Okay, so VMware is an organization, vSphere is a product name, and ESXi is a hypervisor. Is a hypervisor means what platform we are installing that. And latest version is 7, 7.1, 7.2, like that will be there. It is a VMware product. It's a pure form of hypervisor. Okay, and from Citrix, XenServers. Compulsory, you have to verify which is the latest version. Same thing, take a download a XenServer, install into your server. Okay, download XenServer.iso and install into your server with a CD-ROM or maybe a pen drive or a network. Install into your server and connect with a remote application or a web browser and create your virtual machines. So that is a XenServer. Proxmox in Proxmox-EV. It is a open source free edition. You can anybody can able to download. Okay, open source. Okay. So this is a backup server, Proxmox backup server. So like you want to do some backups kind of stuff, then you can do it. Yeah, virtual environment. So this is the Proxmox-EV. Okay, and this is the backup server and mail gateway. So these are the products from Proximox. Yes, some people will ask questions. Sir, I want to become a software engineer. I want to become a developer. Okay, but I got this profile. Is like a database administration. I got a project as a what we can say uh, data center administration, ticketing tools, or maybe I'm getting some network administration related, mobile security related, something people will tell, but I want to become a good coder, good programmer. So what I'm telling is go to any sites like a Proximox kind of stuff, which is like a community type, which is like a community open source kind of stuff. You can go for it. You can see their things, and you can start build your own or maybe support. Yeah, show the represent. Very good. Okay, so you can start doing it. I don't know how to do it, but just try to go to this one communities and how to build or how to support for them. Okay, so how to participate, start doing your own self. Guys, no need to give someone should be give a job for you for based on your profile. If you are passionate about something, you can build it, mainly like programming kind of stuff. Okay, so you can go to this Proximox, or you can go to the downloads also. So go through this one, you can find a download button here. Just click on a download button, then you can download ISO image and install in your machine, and you will become hypervisor. Okay, it is basically built based on Linux based kernels only. Okay, and it is also supporting now a few more things. Just you have to read it. Don't do blindly, just read everything, so then you will know what it is. Okay, you can buy subscription and pricing also there. So for a support subscription, voice is free, means the platform is free, but if you need a support, then you have to pay like this. Okay, this is the open source. Next, and also for Citrix XenServer, same thing, just go to the downloads. We are going so find out where is the downloads, what it is. This is Citrix. Okay, Citrix is like a presentation virtualization. So many things also there. Okay, like you can go to products. Okay, what type of product you are wanted. So then go and download it. It will kill lot of time. That's why I'm not going that anything. VMware also try it. I'm telling. So Hyper-V. Just Hyper-V. I type it. So I want. If you want to know about the documentation related, so you can go through the documentation of Hyper-V, and you can find when it is invented, all kind of stuff from here. Okay. Next, but what I want is not about that one. I want a Microsoft website. Windows Server 2019 download. Just I'm going to that one. Yeah, you can ask why I am going to 2019 download it button, because you can find 2019 Hyper-V server here under this one without any confusion. So if you see the latest servers kind of stuff, where it is, yeah. 2012, 2022 is, I think it is already released. Try Windows Server on Azure, create Windows Server VM on Azure, download ISO like that. So you have to click on the and download ISO, continue. You don't need to know everything, guys. Just download it, install it, because you know VMware workstation, how to install operating system. You already know, already you done Windows 10 and server. You can try on your own, look at all the options and get to know it. That's a very simplest thing. Okay, even myself I learn like that only. Okay, you can read a lot of things from here, just for fun you can read it like that. You can learn a lot of things. Pre-request system requirements. Just click on system requirement. What are the minimum requirements to install? What are the new things? Yeah, it is mm, uh, given like that. This is a Windows admin center. So admin centers actually is an application, not ISO, not a operating system. Admin center is an application which we install in a Windows servers only. We install a Windows admin center into the server, so then we can access the server from any network. Through network you can access your server with a browser access only. With the web browser access you can able to access your server. You can create an account, you can do so many things, like even you can create virtual machines. Okay, so that is a Windows admin center. Last time I showed to the people, so you have to find it where when I showed that one. Last batch only, seventh batch only, I showed how to install a admin center, but it is not much good because everything got slowed that time. So now all okay. So this is our and server 2022 Hyper-V is not listed. But if you see server 2019, 2019 essentials. Okay, separate packages. 2019 actually it is include two parts. One is standard edition, another one is a data center edition. Okay, server core, server with desktop experience means GUI mode, and server core is a no GUI, no graphical user interface, only CLI mode. Okay, so that is two another versions you will get it. And also you can see the futures here. You will find it. Software defined network, storage space direct. Okay, shielded virtual machines. So a few features are added in this 2019. Of course, in this fact you will get a standard and data center, both you will get it from here only. Okay, also you can see prerequisites. Essentials has some limitations as compared to regular one. Okay, so you can go to the description of it, and what are the limitations, which how many 25 users, 50 devices you can able to create a network. So you can join into the domain, but you cannot become a domain controller. Okay, it is usually for small businesses, like everything is there. Next one is Hyper-V server. It is showing unlimited. It is showing 180 days. Unlimited means so there is a no particular limit. Also Windows Server 2016 Essential, Hyper-V Server 2016, 2012 R2, 2012 R2 Essentials, Hyper-V Server 2012 R2, Windows Server 2012, Hyper-V Server 2012. Up to here you can do it. 8 and 8 R2 is not listed here because it is very old one, and almost it is removed from the download option. Okay, so if you want Hyper-V alone, so this is the latest version, Hyper-V Server 2019. So just you can ISO, continue, you have to fill this thing, continue, and then you can download a ISO. But problem is, this is core hypervisor. What is a core hypervisor? This is a server. In this server, if you install a Hyper-V, if you install a Hyper-V as a operating system, just like you install a Hyper-V. So Hyper-V installed in this server. Problem is you don't get much user interface to create a virtual machine, same as a vCenter. So what to do? What to do? You should use remote connections. Okay. So here is a two ways we can able to create a virtual machines in this server. In this server, you can create a virtual machines but not directly on the same machine. So how to create these VMs if you are using core Hyper-V. Okay, core Hyper-V server. So we don't get a much user interface. So to create a virtual machine and maintain a virtual machines, storages, network kind of stuff, you want to maintain it, so you have to connect through remote desktop only, through remotely you have to connect. Okay, so how to control this one? First of all, Hyper-V manager. First one is Hyper-V manager. Using a Hyper-V manager, so Hyper-V Manager, it's a built-in tool for a Windows system, but make sure that it is a professional or enterprise. So through Hyper-V Manager, we can connect your remote Hyper-Vs. Okay. Second one is PowerShell. Okay. So using a PowerShell, we can connect a remote server, and you can by through the PowerShell commands, you can able to create a virtual machines, managing virtual machines and all. Of course, admin center. Admin center won't install in this one. Okay, admin center we can't install in a core center, so that's why I am removing that one. Okay, so this is if you are installing Hyper-V on a physical machine, Hyper-V server 2019. So this is Hyper-V 19 to Hyper-V server 2019. Okay, you install in this PC, you won't get a much user interfaces. It's like you look like a CLI base on. But you want to create a virtual machine and monitor the virtual machines and manage the virtual machines. So you have to connect from the regular desktop or a PC in the same domain kind of stuff. Okay. So try to find how to install a Hyper-V. Hyper-V manager available in a both. It's available both 32-bit and 64-bit. Okay. Um, Pro and enterprise. Okay, so remember these points. Okay, so if you want to note down, you can note down also. Okay, um, okay, so 32-bit Windows 8 or 64-bit Windows 8. So 32-bit Windows 10 and 64 Windows 10. professional or enterprise, any edition you can use it, not home editions. So definitely you'll get a Hyper-V manager. I will tell, if you're having 64-bit, then you will get a platform also. But if you have a 32-bit, you'll get a Hyper-V manager only. So I will tell the difference between manager and platform. But currently, keep it in mind. So this is Hyper-V manager. So using Hyper-V manager, you can connect a remote PCs, remote servers. So then you can able to create virtual machines and manage the virtual machines from here. Okay. So that is my Hyper-V server 2019 or 16 or 12, same thing only. But Hyper-V is not only a core Hyper-V. Hyper-V is not a just core Hyper-V. Okay, this is core Hyper-V. You won't get a admin, sorry, Active Directory, DHCP, applications on a server, user interfaces, graphical user interfaces. That much you won't get it anything. You don't get anything. It's just you will get a system and with a simple console, and that's it. You don't get much thing. Only thing is, you want to create a virtual machine in this server, you need to access remotely with a Hyper-V manager or PowerShell, or admin center has some conditions are there, so you have to check it. This is a normal servers. If you see Windows Server 2019, okay, this editions, not essentials. I'm not talking about essential. I'm talking about 2019 server, or 2016 server, or 2008 8 or 2 server. Okay, so if you go through it, there is a two editions are there. So we'll go with that one also. Okay, I'm talking about regular servers. So that is will go. So we'll see Windows 2008 server, 2008 X64, compulsory 64-bit. So you will get a Hyper-V as a role. Okay, Hyper-V has a role in started with the Windows Server 2008 64-bit. Even physical I didn't see because at when I used 2008 server, that time we got 32-bit only, not a 64-bit. So I didn't see in, exactly confirmation. But when we are discussing, people who see already at the time of 2008 only, Hyper-V is introduced. In 2003, not there. 2008 is there. 2003 Hyper-V is not there. 2008 Hyper-V is there, but you must have 64-bit only. Okay. So Hyper-V as a role. Role means, guys, you install a DHCP, DNS, Active Directory kind of stuff. So same thing, we are adding a role. You install a DHCP role. You install a DNS role. You install a Active Directory domain services role. If you install a storage services, a role. If you install a IIS web server as a role, like that, it is a role, right? So manage, add roles and features. So there is a role, right? So that is it. Along with the operating system. I'm not talking about, so Microsoft Office 2019. So initially I showed Microsoft Hyper-V server, which is no operating system environment type, means no GUI. Okay, no graphical interface, no operating system type of environment, no other roles. server roles. Okay, directly it is core Hyper-V only. Okay, it is pure server virtualization. Okay, so this is Hyper-V. But as a role means along with operating system and applications, and also we can run in a your server, that is start with the 2008 server. Okay, so then I will give you a list of the servers from there. So Windows Server 2008 R2. Okay, 2012 R2. What is R2, guys? Release 2. Release 2 means first release is there, that is called release 1. First time it is released, release 1. So they feel some there is a futures are missing with this some world review, so they added a few futures or certain roles or maybe certain things in the server, they release again, so that is called a release 2. Okay, so these are all pure form of 64 bits. So in 2008, 32-bit, 64-bit is there, but these are all 64-bit only. So no need to tell it is a 32-bit 64. It is a already 64 only. So Hyper-V is there in this one. It's keep developing from this to this and from this to this and here to here. So Hyper-V is keep developing, and new features are added into one by one. Okay. Next, Hyper-V has a future. Okay, so as a future, what is this future? So this is a Microsoft Edge. Edge is a application and as well as a feature, because when you install operating system, you get a Edge automatically. So when you are automatically Internet Explorers, okay, certain web servers kind of stuff, VPN client kind of stuff, um, what is that one, telnet client, ssh client, these are certain features are inbuilt in our system. Okay, as a feature, so it is introduced actually as a scene personally, Windows 8 Pro. I will put a Windows 8, Windows 10 Professional and Enterprise. Okay, Professional and Enterprise, and compulsory 64-bit compulsory. Okay, but earlier I said 32-bit or a 64-bit. So what is that one? We'll see. If you have a home edition, you don't find that feature. Okay, Hyper-V feature you won't see. Okay, in a features you can see no, in a Hyper-V there is a two things. In a Hyper-V there is a two things. One is Hyper-V manager. Another one is Hyper-V platform. Another one is Hyper-V platform or platform. Okay, so Hyper-V platform manager use it to create and manage VMs in, okay, to create and manage the virtual machines. Okay, in Hyper-V platform actually runs VMs. Runs the VM means Hyper-V is there. Okay, leave out Hyper-V. I have a VMware workstation. I created a virtual machine using application, right? I created a virtual machine and I'm managing the virtual machines. Okay, that's good. But where the virtual machine is running? In my PC only. Virtual machine is running in my PC only. To run in my PC, I need a virtualization platform. Hypervisor is required, right? So that is called running in my PC. I have a virtual machine in this is a virtual machine, it is running here means it's using my laptop resources. It use my laptop CPU, my RAM, my disk space. It is utilizing here only. It is running here means it is utilizing my laptop resources only. So that is okay, that is run okay, running VM in my PC. It means that's the to run virtual machines in a PC, in a server or a PC, we need a platform. Without a platform you can't run a virtual machine in a in that machine. Okay, that's it. Manager is a outsource, like you can, this is the manager. So you can see the things and which virtual machine you want to run, which virtual machine you want to shut down, which virtual machine you want to delete, which one you want to change the network kind of stuff. Like a manager is more like a user interface. Okay, so it can be like you want a manager. So as manager, so you will get here as per this. So you can choose Windows 8 or Windows 10, professional or enterprise. Okay, so 32-bit or a 64-bit. So you'll get virtualization and not required to virtualization enabled kind of stuff. CPU virtualization no need to enable. Virtualization technology enable or disable, no problem. Or if it is not there, no problem. Okay, but platform compulsory. First of all, I will tell Windows 8 or Windows 10, professional or enterprise, compulsory 64-bit must be there. It won't work with a 32-bit. No 32-bit, only 64-bit. Okay, no 32-bit. Next, CPU virtualization feature, where it will be available in a BIOS, right? In a BIOS, the virtualization technology must be enabled, otherwise it won't work. How to check whether it is enabled or not? Go to Task Manager in a simple way. Go to Performance tab, CPU. Here you can find virtualization enabled. Okay, virtualization enabled. If it is showing disabled, so you have to go to BIOS and then enable it. So you have to go to BIOS settings. Go to BIOS settings. Okay, guys. If anybody don't know BIOS settings, just go through how to go to BIOS setting. Lot of YouTube videos and all there. I can't show you now. Okay, so go to BIOS setting, enable this feature. That is one thing. Even last time we have a laptop, so I thought I can use that laptop for my as a separate some practical purpose in our office in Pune. It is a old laptop only. It's a 64, so I verified it is 64 or not. It is a 64-bit. I took it, but I didn't verify this thing. Okay, what happened? It's a 64-bit. I install operating system and I put everything, make it ready very good way. Later, I'm trying to install our VMware, everything installed, but OS is showing it. Then I checked here. Problem is, it's showing. It's not showing this option. If it is not showing this option completely, it means no virtualization technology, built-in technology, or virtualization not available. Virtualization stuff enable or disable. It's showing not available. Means in CPU. Virtualization is not there. So again, I verified with uh, Intel, in which processor, kind of processor, the processor details. So I find it is not supporting any virtualization. So I drop my all the things. Okay. So compulsory verify virtualization must be enabled. Otherwise, all okay, must be enabled to create and manage and run the virtual machines. We need a virtual machine manager and platform. If you want to run a virtual machine in your PC, you need a platform. You are just managing virtual machines. That is manager only. Here is a point I think a lot of people don't understand, but I'm telling again. See, this is my laptop. I have a manager. I have a. I don't have a platform. Platform don't have. I have a manager. Okay, you guys understand? I have a manager in my PC, but I don't have a platform. Now I want to create a virtual machine. Can I create a virtual machine? Okay, we can't create a virtual machine in your machine. In your machine means, if you want to create a virtual machine, you can create a virtual machine where the platform is there. Okay, I have a server. For example, this is my server. Here is a Hyper-V platform is there. So here I can create these virtual machines. Here I will create a virtual machine, but actually I creating from my laptop or my desktop. So I can connect it to remotely to the server, and I create a virtual machine here. From here I can create it from here. Okay, but actually it is create from here only. I can manage these virtual machines from my PC only. Okay, so it is running. Actually it is running created. Okay, it is created means it is stored or running in the server, but we can create from here and manage from here. Okay, but it is running and created in the server only. So this is Hyper-V manager. So to run, to create and run, we need a platform. Okay, so just understand a little bit different, because while I write I put a create, because from using a Hyper-V manager from my PC I can able to create it, but actually I'm creating in remote PC only. Next, I think you guys already written, so I don't know. See, this is my PC. Okay, I have a manager, Hyper-V manager, as well as a platform. I have a platform. So what can I able to do? I can create a virtual machine in my PC, and I will manage this virtual machine in my PC. I can run this virtual machine in my PC only. So I can run my PCs. Guys, understand or not? Okay. So I want to ask for a simple question. Now I'm going back to the Windows servers. So there is a mainly there is a three editions plus one is there. So what are the three editions? Windows Server, either it is 16, 12, 8, or 19. I'm not writing any number. So I'm just putting a Windows Server only. It can be 8, it can be 12, it can be 16 or a 19 also. Standard edition, data center, essential. Another edition is essentials. I'm not writing here because I don't want that one, because it's a very small business purpose, not in my topic. Okay, so another one is Hyper-V server. So another one is Hyper-V server. So only, but I want to ask question in this between only. So what is the difference between data center and standard edition? What is the difference between data center and standard edition? Anyone? If you read Madhu sir PPTs also, you can give that answer. What is the difference between Windows Server Standard Edition and Data Center Edition? Differences or common things.
Standard edition is for a small organization and data center is for large organization.
Okay, good, good. Very good. Next, there are a lot of points are there. In a standard, it support 64 socket CPU sockets, not socket. Okay, on average. So if you take a CPU with a 10 core CPU, 64 sockets means so maximum of 64 CPU cores it support. Okay, very large, right? So how many CPUs? One edition support 64 CPU sockets means on motherboard 64 sockets are there. So it support up means you can put a 64 CPUs. Okay. Next 640 CPU cores means like each CPU 10 cores in the 10 core processor. So like that 64 into 10 it is 640 cores. It's a maximum support. For data center edition, how much? How much for data center edition? Same, no difference. Okay. RAM support, max RAM support. You can also get it from here. So minimum, maximum. Compare features, Windows Server versions. 8 minutes. Freely you can learn. You not to pay to anyone also. Tell me. No, not like this. 64 socket C. Standard edition, data center edition. Okay, in 2019 it is changed. If you take 2000, um, no, now it is giving so many thing. It is 64 terabytes and 24 terabytes of RAM, maximum RAM it will support. Okay, okay. So like this is
The rating must be
2019.
24 terabyte RAM.
Yes, 24 terabytes of RAM, both
For
standard and
for
data
what it's
centers
needed that
in
much RAM.
2019. Not in 16. 16 is less. So then you have to find the differences for 2019. So that is also you have to put it in a bracket because $600, right? How many roles support? Roles and features. All roles and features support. Same goes for here also. Everything is the same, guys. I will show you one more time here. So this is if you see this list, standard data center. Yes, yes. Even I am not reading this part. See, if this side yes, no, or some number changes, we'll see. This is no, this is yes. Okay. Software defined networking, yes, in the data center. Okay. So we'll see that one. So we'll take it, software defined networking. So data center, this is extra. Okay. Storage replica, storage replica in a standard edition. So don't worry, no one will ask that much big question. Next. So one participate partnership, and one source group with a single 2 terabyte volume. Even if you don't understand, still no problem. Okay, only is unlimited here. So difference and find like that. Okay, it is big, it is small, it is good, it is not good. Don't tell that kind of answers in interview. Storage space direct future is there here. Okay, like that. See, you can see SS. A guest if hosted in a data center, inheritance activation. Can we host array guest? Something is given here. See, based on like this, stock and limitations, locks and limits. 64 sockets, 64 sockets. Okay, number of cores unlimited, number of cores unlimited. It is showing now, but actually 640 number of cores. So now it is showing a thing. Okay, socket wise, but CPU cores now change in 2019, 2016. I'm telling totally. Okay, but if you see, this is very important point. So for that one only I told like this. Roles, everything, both support, all roles support. Network controller something is there that is not supporting. Okay, server essential experience not there in about the things. Okay, see if you see everything is the same. So only important thing is I missed something. Yeah, here it is. So this is the main important point here, like this. So the star one. Okay, so I put a 2 stars here because that is very important point here. This is the point. Okay, so if you are using standard edition, maximum 2 virtual machines you can create it, plus one Hyper-V host per license. Okay, so plus one Hyper-V host means yourself one Hyper-V host. Okay, per license. Okay, and then you can run. Sorry, yeah, you can create and run 2 virtual machines. You can create multiple virtual machines, but still you can able to run at a time 2 virtual machines in the standard edition. Okay, next. As I said, so out of this, important thing is virtualization. We are in Hyper-V, so we talk in a Hyper-V manner only. Unlimited virtual machines. In a data center edition, you can create unlimited virtual machine plus one Hyper-V per Hyper-V host per license. Okay. Actually, there is licensing confusion is there because it's a per core license. You won't get a CPU license, per core license. There are a lot of differences, lot of things are there. Okay, per core license, per CPU license, per socket license, per user license. So compulsory licensing is very important one. Okay. So here it is. Unlimited virtual machines. You can create it, but only thing is here 1024 VMs can run at a time. So that is also keep in mind. So if you are having a data center edition, per core license 1024 virtual machines you can able to run it. And how it is possible? Because you require a big RAM. You need a very big RAM to run it. 1024 virtual machines. 1024 means at least you need a 1 terabyte of RAM. Okay, so depends upon your virtual machines and RAM consumptions. So you have to calculate your RAM availability, and you have to create. So you are required a 4 terabytes and like that. Okay, so earlier days, 2016 max RAM is 4 terabyte. Max RAM is 4 terabyte. 2016. In a 2012, it's a max RAM is 20. Sorry, 2019 max RAM is, sorry, 24. In a 2016 and 2012, max RAM is 4 terabytes. 4 terabytes of RAM, not 4 terabytes of disk. But you must verify once again, because I'm also went through these details so many days back. Okay. There is a mistake? No. So you guessed both. So as for Microsoft document, I verified this is the correct one. So you can also check it like this. Okay. So depends upon your RAM, currently your server RAM, you can do it. For example, I have a 64 GB RAM. My RAM is 64 GB. So I have a virtual machines. So each virtual machine I given a 2 GB RAM. So maximum like a 30. Okay, 30 max virtual machines I can run it. Why 30? 30 into 2, 60. Why 4 GB? Server has to run, right? Server has to run. I given 4 GB for my server running. So you can't take very tight manner. Okay. So here is an important point is Windows Server Standard Edition. Number of virtual number of virtual machines we can create two virtual machines. We can create more virtual machines, but we can run two virtual machines at a time. Okay, two VMs, two VMs can run at a time. So this is for standard edition. In data center edition, we can create unlimited virtual machines, but at a time 1024 VMs. But again, 2019 server, guys, 2019 server. Maybe this is the data is a old data. If in a 19, it may be changes. So check compulsory how many virtual machines you can run at a time in the 2019 server. So compulsory whenever the new version is changes, futures are there. Check with the limitations. Okay, a number of users, number of servers, number of domain controllers. So everything. So there is a limit. So find out the limitation. See, I already told 64 CPU sockets are a 640 CPU cores, but now in 19 it is unlimited cores are there. So that's the difference. Guys, understand this point is standard edition, two virtual machines you can run in a data center. You can create unlimited virtual machines. Okay, usually in a, as a world one, so 1024 VMs can run at a time. Okay, up to here. Okay. Now we'll going to start a virtual machine, and I will show you Hyper-V, how to install a Hyper-V. No, okay, so is it enough details to see Hyper-V? Yeah, before going to that one, so I will show you Windows 10 is better. I'm not confusing. Okay, I'm going to increase my RAM and will have to do a lot of things. So okay, I will pause here. I will pause here. This is my server virtualization technologies or a products, tools or anything. Okay, server virtualization related, all these things. Okay, and this is the Windows Server Hyper-V server. Okay, Microsoft Hyper-V server 2019 or 2016 or anything you take it. No GUI, no other operating system kind of stuff, no roles and all. It's a pure server virtualization only. Hyper-V server has a role in 2008 64-bit machine and 2008 R2 and 2012 R2 16 19 and 2022. Maybe it is there. It is not yet released, not yet tested. If you it usually be there. So just I've given a just a option purpose only. Okay, we didn't test it. And as a feature in a Windows 10, like a Windows 8 and Windows 10 professional or enterprise, so you can able to install Hyper-V. So but the condition is, okay, the condition for installing Hyper-V here. So the condition will take it again. I will tell guys, so remember, want to install Hyper-V, so make sure CPU and your operating system, of course, must be 64-bit only. Okay, virtualization technology must enable in BIOS or UEFI, which one you are using. Usually UEFI only. Okay, so BIOS is the word. Okay, so must be enabled. Next, RAM. Minimum RAM for a Windows 10 to Windows 10 64-bit. We need a 64-bit. So Windows 10 64-bit minimum RAM capacity. Minimum RAM. Mini one. Windows 10 64 bit. So we need a professional or enterprise. So minimum RAM capacity to install. No one is speaking. What happened, guys? Minimum requirements to install a Windows 10. Windows 10 minimum requirements to install. You guys are googling or what? Even that also, please tell me an answer. So what it is? 1 GB for 32-bit, 2 GB for 64-bit. Processor 1 GHz processor or higher. Okay, or 1 GHz or higher system on chip. 32 GB free disk space for 32-bit operating system. Sorry, 16 GB free disk space for 32-bit OS. 32 GB free disk space for a 64-bit OS. Display 800 into 600. Okay. So how much minimum RAM required for a 64-bit Windows 10?
2 GB.
Okay. Plus 2 GB is required to install Hyper-V. To install Hyper-V. Okay. So what is required mainly in Windows 10? Pro or Enterprise. Okay. No home editions. Compulsory 64-bit, because 64-bit is there. You will get both platform and as well as a manager. So minimum RAM required to install Windows 10 OS is 2 GB, plus 2 more GB is required for to run Hyper-V. And if you are using more virtual machines, means more RAM capacity is required. So resultant is minimum 4 GB with your Windows 10. Minimum 4 GB RAM is required to install a Hyper-V. So this is the main important point. This is the main point. So everything is covered here only. Okay. And very important is virtualization technology must be there and must be enabled. Must be there and must be enabled. Compulsory 64. Otherwise, you can't get it. This thing. This is you won't get it. Okay. So this is about your Hyper-V. I don't have any Hyper-V kind of stuff. Otherwise, I will check it. Just I need a Windows server. This is already installed Hyper-V. So this is the another server. Here I already installed a Hyper-V. Well, at least a old Windows 10 is also there, na? Yes, it is the yeah. I will start this virtual machine and I will try. Maybe it is 6 GB. Okay, DevOps missions are better. Okay, no problem, no problem. So I will try to show you in a Windows 10. Then I will show you in a servers also. Performance, memory. It's 5.6 GB available. 5.6 GB available. So I can't use 6 GB machine. I have to reduce it. What I have to do it? I am not getting any idea. Okay, guys. Next part, I will show you first how to install in Windows 10. Then I will show you in the server also. Both I will show you. So don't worry. Okay. So both I will show you. So I have a client also. Then in a client also I can log in and I will show you how to install a Hyper-V here. Okay. So now take a little bit break or a relax. Um, that's it.